There's this rumor that one time that Jay got on the stand or whatever, and they asked him, would you be responsible for Beans? And he said no.
Yeah.
That's the truth?
Absolute truth. Roc-A-Fella Records was the only thing that I've ever been a part of that I thought was honest.
This is dope.
The reason why he was like, the contracts took so long is because Jay would not sign off on them.
Beanie Sigel is out here going straight for Jay-Z's neck. After all these years of keeping quiet, he's finally exposing what really went down behind closed doors at Roc-A-Fella and how Jay is probably the biggest snake in the entire industry. Now, let's be real. Beanie wasn't just a regular artist on the label. He was one of the hottest MCs in the early 2000s, holding it down for Roc-A-Fella. But things got real tricky when Beanie ran into legal issues and did time. And according to Beanie, Jay wasn't there for him when he needed him most. We all know Jay always preached about the Roc family and how it was all about brotherhood, but Beanie says that Jay's definition of family was more about protecting his own interests, especially when the stakes got high.
That's where I came from. I never looked at me having a career. I never looked at the business. It was La Familia, La Familia, La Familia. We are family.
And with everything going on and Jay getting exposed, Beanie has had enough of staying quiet. Beanie says he felt abandoned, left to handle his legal troubles and life challenges alone while Jay was moving up, stacking billions and building his empire. According to Beanie, while Jay was busy securing his own future, he couldn't be bothered to show up for the ones who helped him get there in the first place. And this is something we have seen time and time again about how Jay-Z will always put his own interests first. The same pattern where Jay is quick to cut ties or throw people under the bus when things get messy. I mean, just recently with the whole Diddy situation, he denied ever having a friendship when he got sued. And Beanie's not the only one calling out Jay. His former partners, Dame Dash and Memphis have also been vocal about Jay's betrayal. They've talked about how Jay turned his back on them and betrayed them once he got what he wanted, cutting ties once his empire started growing.
Your relationship with Hov stays the same.
Cause I'm a true friend, man. We true friends like Tata, Juan, Emery, like I said, we all from, it's real friendship.
Beanie Sigel recently opened up about the time when he first signed with Roc-A-Fella in 1998, thinking Jay-Z was going to be his ride or die. Back then, Beanie genuinely believed that Jay was a real one, someone who would always have his back no matter what. And for the early 2000s, Beanie wasn't just another artist under the Roc banner. He was one of the top guys, an integral part of the movement. You had Kanye West, Memphis, Cameron, but Beanie was Jay's right-hand man in the streets, doing business, making moves, and keeping the Roc name strong.
You know, I produced Kanye's first record that was on the radio. We Are the Champions on my album, The Dream Team.
But let's not forget, Beanie wasn't just rapping. He had his hand in a lot of things. He's the one who came up with the idea for the Roc-A-Fella State Property clothing line and the State Property movie. So when it came to the Roc, Beanie wasn't just another player. He was a foundational piece of the empire. It wasn't just about the music, it was about the whole brand. However, by the mid-2000s, things began to shift. In 2004, Jay and Dame Dash, who had been partners in building the Roc, were at each other's throats. They were fighting over the direction of the label, and Beanie, being stuck in the middle, found himself torn. He was loyal to both men, but when it came time for Jay to take control of Roc-A-Fella as part of his new deal with Def Jam, it was clear to Beanie that he wasn't a priority anymore. And that's where Beanie says the betrayal started to feel personal. In 2004, Beanie faced federal charges and was looking at some serious time. Beanie had a history in the streets, and this wasn't his first run-in with the law, but when things hit the fan, he expected his family, especially Jay, to step up. Instead, he got silence. Jay didn't show up to court. He didn't visit Beanie in jail. He didn't even make a call. Beanie has said in interviews that during one of the hardest times in his life, he felt completely abandoned by the people he trusted the most, especially Jay. And that's the point where Beanie felt like the family ties he thought was solid were just an illusion. As time went on, Beanie started to see who was really there for him and who wasn't. When it came down to loyalty, Dame Dash was the one who stood by Beanie. During his trial, Dame was right there, supporting him publicly and showing up when it mattered most.
Dame actually came and got me when I got out of prison.
I was more bothered when Beans chose to go with Jay. That one hurt. Because I'd done a lot and prepared. I chose State Property over Rockware, and I wanted to just roll out with State Property.
On the flip side, Jay was focused on his own career, dropping the Black Album and planning what he called his retirement. Beanie saw this as a slap in the face. He had gone to war for Roc-A-Fella, defending the brand and holding things down for the crew. But when he needed Jay the most, Jay left him to fend for himself. By 2005, Roc-A-Fella Records was a shadow of what it used to be. Jay had taken over as president of Def Jam, and Dame, along with Biggs, had moved on to other ventures. Beanie was stuck in limbo. That year, he dropped The Be Coming, an album that was a project Beanie poured his heart into, recorded mostly while he was fighting his legal case. But despite how incredible the album was, it didn't get the push it deserved, because Jay, now controlling Roc-A-Fella, didn't prioritize him.
How did you feel when Jay-Z and Dame split up?
So gotta move on. That's how I felt. Like, I remember Dame from Harlem, Jay from Marcy. Dame is cool. I have mad respect for Dame, mad love for Dame, but I ride with my big homie and that's it, man. So whatever they went through was their problem, so.
In interviews, Beanie said he was being iced out, sidelined, while Jay moved forward with his own plans. He wasn't getting the same support or resources that Jay had once promised him, and it didn't stop there. Beanie later revealed that Jay even went as far as blocking him from pursuing other opportunities. He kept Beanie tied to Roc-A-Fella, but refused to invest in his career, leaving him stuck.
We go through all of that. Right before we close, your man makes an announcement that he's launching another brand, S. Carter. So it devalued the brand, and they left.
Tommy Hilfiger left.
Yeah, because they were like, Jay's not a part of it, we don't want it.
This all came to a head in 2009 when Beanie dropped What You Talking About, I Ain't Your Average Cat, a vicious diss track aimed directly at Jay. In the song, Beanie aired out all his grievances. He accused Jay of using him for street credibility, then discarding him when it was no longer convenient.
My brother's keeper like Nino and that's what I'm talking about. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't sit on laps and I ain't looking for no gifts out of Santa Claus sack.
As for Jay-Z, he responded to Beanie's claims in interviews, but in his usual way, vaguely. He brushed off the accusations, saying that Beanie refused to take accountability for his own mistakes. Jay tried to distance himself from the drama, claiming that it wasn't about him abandoning Beanie, but more about Beanie's failure to stay in line.
Well, Beanie Sigel at the time, and you can look it up if you like, just to be honest, was driving 2 Bentleys. I don't know how. It's impossible to drive 2 cars at one time. With his mama in the sticks and selling 800,000 records, I don't know.
But if you really take a look at how Jay treated Dame Dash, even after they came up together, it becomes clearer that Jay's loyalty was always more about himself than brotherhood. It's like Jay was willing to cut ties with anyone once they no longer served his purpose. Plus, there are rumors that Jay-Z ghost wrote for Memphis Bleak to keep him on top and to slowly dismantle Beanie Sigel's position in the Roc. This move, if true, really adds to the picture of Jay making snake moves over the years to maintain control.
But that was like Bleak. Put it like this: I could understand Bleak's loyalty to Jay because he had Jay as a ghostwriter.
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Did he write for Bleak?
Yeah, did he write for Bleak?
Yeah, man. Of course. Jay helped Bleak out on a lot.
One user even mentioned Bleak admitted that Jay wrote both verses to Coming of Age. One comment perfectly sums up the feelings of many. Loyalty is not in Jay's vocabulary. He doesn't know that word. Turning his back on people is a pattern with Jay. Another user said, another career sacrifice. I hope Jay-Z goes down hard. He screwed so many people. So let me ask you, do you think Jay-Z's history of turning his back on people is catching up with him? Can loyalty really be overlooked in this business? Or is it just about who's on top? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button for more stories straight from the hood.